You're listening to the Health Powered Productivity Podcast by RaderCo. I'm Marcey Rader, founder and chief productivity lead. This podcast's mission is to give you and your team bite-sized, time-saving, focus-boosting, health-improving tips that you can implement right away. Now, on with the show. The inspirational quotes are a Pinterest rabbit hole. Let go of the old to make room for the new. You won't find the right person if you keep hanging on to the wrong one. Tiny Buddha said, when you let go, you make space for something better. Let go of the past to make room for your future. I'm not too fond of this one because it could be misinterpreted as forgetting our past. As Daniel Pink says in his book, The Power of Regrets, How Looking Backward Moves Us Forward, which is an excellent book, by the way, we don't want to forget our failures or regrets. I like Jon Kabat-Zinn's quote better. Instead of letting go of the past, he says, let it be. I'm going to talk about this in the context of your time, projects, and energy. As the end of the year approaches, it's an opportune time to reflect and ask yourself what you are continuing to do in your life that's good, preventing you from doing great things or being the great person you want to be. Marshall Goldsmith talks about how what got you here won't get you there from a leadership perspective. It's also the team you have surrounded yourself with. The team that brought you here isn't necessarily the team that will get you there. That's why startups will let go of founders or hire a CEO. Some CEOs specialize in different revenue levels because each has unique challenges and needs. John D. Rockefeller said, don't be afraid to give up the good to go for the great. My friend Justin Jones-Fosu, who is in my Speakers with Impact Mastermind, says this probably once a quarter to at least one of us in the group, that we are hanging on to something that we need to just let go of and move on to bigger, better things. In my new Powered Path Playbook, I have annual reflection prompts that ask what you want to do less of and what you want to do more of. Are you hanging on to a volunteer or advisory role that's good, but it keeps you from quality time with your family or moving into a more challenging position? I was part of a peer advisory group and even a founding member for 4 years. It took me several months to decide to go, but it was the right move. The group makeup had changed from half being business owners to only 2, including me, and it was no longer a great fit. It was a good one, but not a great one. Within 2 weeks, I was asked to be part of the Raleigh-founded advisory board, which I am very excited about. Had I still been in my peer advisory group, I probably would have said no, since it would have been too much on my schedule. Little known fact. Women tend to volunteer for low-profile tasks, while men hold out for the ones that will get recognition. Are you a woman in this position that needs to practice saying no until you're met with a great opportunity? One of my clients insisted on keeping a marketing company, even though she had outgrown them. They had a long-term relationship, they'd become friendly, but she wasn't really seeing any return on investment. The cost was that she could be building her business. The company that was once great for her was now just good. And after 2 years of low returns, she moved to a different company and started seeing things happen within 90 days. They would not have been a great fit for her 4 years ago, but now they are the right ones. What a waste of time and money she spent those last 2 years with them. Another example is a friend of mine who started training for marathons with one of her friends. My friend put in a little more work and also was a little more genetically gifted. She became much faster than her running partner, but still continued to train with her. She would never reach her finish time goal if she continued to work out in the good and not push herself. She had a choice to decrease her training with her friend and move up into the more advanced running club or stay status quo. She had to weigh what was more important to her. And in the end, her running partner was sad but understood, and now they run together just a couple times a month. And after moving into the higher level group, My friend took 40 minutes off her marathon time. If you owned a restaurant and you kept something on your menu that people weren't ordering anymore, and you had to throw away that food every week, it would be much more obvious to determine what to let go of. At the RaderCo Design Day Retreat in December, we'll be going through our services, products, and processes to see what we are doing that's just meh or good, and what we can remove to allow for something incredible. In the last couple of months, I've removed a service to help business owners prepare for, find, hire, and work with a virtual assistant or professional. I often did this when I worked mostly with business owners. However, I work primarily with corporate executives now. Even though I still do this with my business owning clients and my forward-thinking corporate execs, I don't market it as a separate service because I can't market everything to everyone. I need to narrow it down so I'm not confusing my clients and prospects. I also don't market business travel keynotes and workshops anymore, unless I'm asked to do it, when that used to be my primary focus. We built RaderCo on business travel. My first 2 books were on business travel. But having too many services and offerings can be overwhelming. And when travel stopped with COVID, it just wasn't a priority anymore. Now I focus my efforts on my Power Up series and email extinguisher. The last 2 years, I focused on working and managing remotely, which was a topic I'd also been teaching for a decade, but wasn't as relevant. And, with COVID, it absolutely became relevant. A few years ago, I deleted, not just stopped using, but full on delete. I do not have any accounts on any social media except YouTube and LinkedIn. I was spending way too much time on all channels for my business and not connecting with anyone anywhere. Instead, I doubled down on LinkedIn, and what I do there went from good to, let's say, gooder. I'm still working on the great. There are 2 people that I can say I feel are great, and that is Cynthia Barnes, the founder of the National Association for Women Sales Professionals, and Stan Phelps of Purple Goldfish. They are great on LinkedIn. Even my clothes have undergone a good to great in the last year. I had 3 suits and 3 dresses custom made for me in Ghana and a coat, and my stylist has up-leveled with some select pieces. I feel way more confident on stage and cannot believe I waited so long. My rule is anything that's coming in, I have to take something out. So anytime I go shopping, I end up doing a Goodwill or thrift store trip because I don't want to just keep adding without removing. Kind of helps when you have a small closet to not get too many clothes. What are you continuing to do that has worn out its welcome? What keeps you from doing bigger, more valuable things? Are you still doing tasks that could be delegated to someone with a much lower hourly rate that frees you up to work in your line of genius and showcase your true gifts? What's working well and what's not working well? Reflect on your year, look at all your extracurricular activities, your recurring task list, and your projects, and where you spend your time and energy. What's good that you can let go of to make room for the great? Thank you for listening to the RaderCo Health Powered Productivity Podcast. The resources mentioned are linked in the show notes. We encourage you to check out our recommendations page on helloraderco.com/recommendations, which lists all our favorite products and services. If you found this podcast valuable, please subscribe, leave a review, and share it with someone you know that could benefit. If you want an eye-opening process to plan and reflect on, giving you the superpowers to see your remarkable accomplishments, experiences, and key lessons earned along the way, check out our Powered Path Playbook. It's an interactive digital course and analog tool that leverages your past and powers your future. helloraderco.com/playbook. Many of our listeners use our podcast as discussion points for team meetings. If you want tailored team training or coaching, reach us at helloraderco.com. And lastly, if you're looking for more bite-sized tips, get a sneak peek of my latest book, Work Well, Play More, Productive, Clutter-Free, Healthy Living, One Step at a Time. It's 1 year behavior change in productivity, clutter, and health in novice, pro, and master levels. It's waiting for you at helloraderco.com/gift.